Hi friends, I'm Sarah and I'm going to be doing a big UGG comparison video. I bought the UGG Tazz platforms in both women's and kids sizes, as well as the Ultra Mini in women's and kids. So I'm gonna open these up and show you everything, as well as compare the women's sizes and the kids sizes, as well as the differences in the women's and kids version. Okay, enough of me talking, but I hope you're not sick of me talking because I'm gonna be talking a lot in this video. So let's get into it. I'm gonna start with the Tazz platforms just because I'm pretty sure this is the it shoe of the season again. And this is my first time actually trying the platform ones. I have the normal Tasmans in a women's size 7 and I love them. I really wanted the red ones this time, but I was scared of the platform, so let's see if I'm keeping one of these today. I typically wear a 6.5, and I would say that I'm a true 6.5, but in Uggs, I typically always buy a size 7 since they don't have half sizes. I feel like I could fit into a 6, especially since the fur lining does tend to like compress and flatten out, but the 7 is just way more comfortable, so I tend to stick with the 7. And if you didn't know this hack already, if you're a woman's 8 and smaller, you can fit into kids sizes, and the kids sizes are generally much cheaper than the women's. Why? I don't know, but that's just the way it is. The women's Tazz platforms are $130, whereas the kids Tazz platforms are $90. So if you happen to have a size 8 foot and below, you could save some money. I believe that the Uggs go up to a kid's size 6, which typically equals a woman's size 8, a kid's 5 being a woman's 7, kids 4 being a woman's 6. You get the pattern. I typically wear a 6.5, usually by a woman's 7, so I went with a 5 in kids. And I really wanted to try the kids ones in the Tazz because the platform is smaller than the women's version, and the women's version scares me a little bit. Let's open everything up and see what we're dealing with. Women's, kids. Women's size 7, kids size 5. $130, $90. So right off the bat, obviously a bigger platform. Way bigger platform. I would also say the platform sole color is slightly lighter than the kids version, but from the top, pretty identical. Looking at the side profile, they are also very similar. Again, the biggest difference being the platform color and size. But honestly, from the looks of it right now, I'm kind of vibing with these ones. The only other difference between the two that I really see is that on the women's shoe, the pull-on tab is shorter but thicker, whereas the kids one is slightly longer, but it is narrower. The insides are also identical. The little embroidery around the shoe opening, also identical. Not a whole lot of differences going on. I guess the color is slightly different too. These seem just a tad more lighter. These seem a little bit more vibrant and a deeper chestnut color, but honestly, they're pretty similar to me. Maybe it's the lighting on my camera, maybe it's the lighting in this room, but I don't know, pretty similar. Even though the size on these should technically be the same, the women's is slightly longer, but that might just be because of the platform. The soles are also pretty identical. The only difference is that the kids one says sugar sole, and I don't really know what that means. I am a 6.5, and I typically buy a women's 7, and I would say they fit the same. So if you're trying to save some money and you don't really care for the platform, go with the kid size. If you like the thicker platform, you're probably just gonna have to stick with the women's and pay up the difference in price. But both are super cute. I really like the little red embroidery around the opening of the shoe. I personally am probably gonna keep the kids ones just because I'm not that big a fan of the super thick platform. So these are gonna go back, and I'm probably gonna keep these, which I'm happy about because they're only $90. These are $130. And for the sake of comparison, if you're in between sizes like me and can go either up or down, but typically go up, I decided to get the kids size 4 just to see if I could fit into it as well. And just a reminder, a kid's 4 should be a woman's 6. And since I'm a 6.5 and I know Uggs tend to kind of like compress and flatten, there is some wiggle room once you get some wear in them. platforms. So I decided to get a 4 just to see, just because I was curious. While the size 4 does fit, it is way more snug, but I am fairly certain it would easily stretch out given my experience with my other Uggs. So if I were desperate to get these season, because I know they're gonna be sold out everywhere, but if I were desperate and they had these kid size 4 in stock, I would give them a try. I would definitely purchase them with the option to return it just in case it absolutely does not work out, but it is an option. And just to quickly compare the Tazz to the Tasman, this is a woman's size 7 Tasman. They are different from the Tazz because the Tazz has a platform sole. But again, the kids version's platform is much smaller than the women's one, so it's kind of more comparable to the normal Tasman, but it is slightly thicker. So if you're a little intimidated by the women's platform and you're size 8 and under, I do suggest getting the kids Tazz, just because the platform is still a little thick, but it's not thick. Also, they're way cheaper, so get these. Also, if you like the Tasmans, but you wanted the little red tab, you're gonna have to get the Tazz, because unfortunately, I don't think the red embroidery comes in the normal Tasman, so you're gonna have to get the Tazz. That was really confusing when I was searching for them, because I'm like, what's the difference? They look the same, but no, the Tazz is platform, but the woman's platform is a real platform. The kids platform is just kind of a platform. Okay, let's move on to the Ugg Ultra Minis. For the Ugg Ultra Minis, I got a kid size 5 and a women's size 7, similar to the Tazz. The kids size were $120 and the women's size were $150. So let's see if I prefer the kids version. From the front, both versions are pretty identical. The only difference that I'm seeing right now is that the kids are slightly shorter, but not that much. Another small difference is that the platform on the women's is slightly bigger than the platform on the kids. I mean, you can barely even tell the difference in thickness on the side profile. Once we get to the back of the shoe, there's a slightly more noticeable difference, and the difference being is the logo on the little label on the heel. The one on the kids is made out of fabric, whereas the one on the women's is also made out of suede. Whether that constitutes such a big price difference, probably not. It is kind of a nicer detail, but honestly, if you showed me these blind, I wouldn't be able to tell you what's what. Also, similar with the Tazz, the women's pull-on tab is slightly thicker than the kids version. Does it matter? I don't think so. Again, the size is pretty comparable. I think the only difference is the larger platform kind of makes it look a little longer, but they're practically the same size. The fit on them also feels identical. I'm sure they're actually just a tiny bit difference, but you can't feel it. So again, if you want to save a little extra money and you're size 8 and under in women's, definitely get the kid size. Last thing I'll say about the Ultra Minis is that if you're unsure about the height, this is the Ugg Classic in short. And the minis are mini. This is the kids Ultra Mini, this is the women's Ultra Mini, and this is the women's short. They are mini. So if you're kind of used to the taller short Ugg, these might seem a little weird. I kind of really like the Ultra Mini just because I tend to cuff my pants or wear them kind of like above my ankle. So these, you can see your cute little winter socks, or you could just see the top of them. It's just a different look. I think it's super cute, but honestly, you can't go wrong. They're pretty much the same thing. Let me know if you have any specific questions on these and I'll try my best to answer them. Otherwise, that's all I have for this video, and I really hope it was helpful in helping you decide which version to get, how you could save money, and size comparisons and whatnot. But yeah, thank you for watching.